I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
Because I want to walk with Elias.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Elias, aka the Sith Lord, aka the Doctor of Style, and whichever other nickname I come up with throughout this episode. Uh, today, I'll be having my boy Rudy Campos Jr. co-host alongside me. Come into the room, Rudy.
His name and he appears.
Of course, you say his name and he appears. It is Rudy Campos, man. A part of Pleading the Sith again, man. I'm kind of liking these episodes, and so does everybody else, man. Everybody's loving these episodes.
Yeah, man, I'm getting a lot of love behind the scenes. So glad you could co-host with me on this one, bro. We have an amazing guest set up for today.
I know we got a good one. I tend to bother this guy a lot, and he tends to jump on nerd and all this other talk. But this is you, man. I know you're excited to have him on because it's hard to get this guy on a lot of times. So.
Yeah, man, he's really doing me a favor with this one. Everyone knows him for the Spurs talk. He's Kent Five's leading writer. He's El Jefe, El Mero Mero. Let's bring him on in. Welcome to the room, Jeff Garcia.
What's up, dudes?
What?
Hold on, I gotta hear this. Can we do that one more time, Rudy, please? Can we do that one more time?
We gotta do more Vader.
Don't know the power of the dark side.
I actually have a hat. And on the side of the hat that I wear once in a while on Los, it says, "You don't know the power of the dark side," and nobody has ever seen it. They can't figure it out. I'm waiting for the first person to see it, so hopefully that'll happen.
Man, I didn't intentionally drop something just so I could flash the camera real quick. Try to get them to catch that. Yo, Jeff, check this out. Since you referenced Star Wars, check this out. Check this baddie out.
Hey, what's that, dude? That's the Ben Kenobi. Is that the exclusive?
Yeah, it's the Chase exclusive, black light and whatnot, bro.
I approve. Hey, but Sith, damn good show, buddy. I heard a lot of good things about it.
Appreciate it, brother. You probably have the best podcast in the game when it comes to Spurs and whatnot with Locked On. Thanks for having me on. I mean, I really tapped into the dark side. It seems like because I left a lot of people unhappy, bro.
You did, man. Yeah, I saw some comments left on the Los episode. You were, I guess, whenever this app comes out, I guess it was last week. Man, this one guy really came at you hard because you shouldn't have opinion because you're not from San Antonio. What was the other one? You're not old enough. I mean, you got everything.
I'm not old enough. That's a new one. I was like, oh man, they still think I'm a baby or some shit. That's all cool with me. I mean, my favorite insult was he probably paid to be on.
Yeah, and I saw it, and my first thought was like, okay, this has got to be one of your friends. That was my gut reaction. Was like, it's got to be one of his boys around. And then I saw you react. I said, oh, it's not one of his friends.
Yeah, I was like, no, people are too emotional. But it is what it is. I mean, that's enough about me. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about Jeff Garcia. I know you're probably overall the Spurs talk, bro. I know people would have you on. That's all they ask you about. But what do you say we talk about some of your other adventures? You're hosting. Yeah. You're hosting all these different Comic Cons. I mean, you got AlamoCon, Big City. What is it? The Big City Countdown.
Oh man, yeah. There's so many. There's there's Big Texas. There's Riverwalk Anime. There's the big winter one in San Antonio called Kawakan. Now, Rudy's been to these before, but since you've never been to one, this is one you have to bring your A++ game in the world of anime. I mean, this is like deep dive stuff. I mean, even Rudy's family that has gone there, they didn't tested my knowledge, and I'm stumped. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. But that's a serious one. But it's pretty big in the winter. And then the new one now is the big Texas Horror Con, or Terror Con, I should say. So that was fun. I survived sitting next to Michael Myers' Sith.
Man, how did that feel? How big is he in person?
He's a tall dude, but he's not like jacked, you know. Interesting enough, he actually played Conan the Barbarian in some of his earlier work as kind of like not obviously not Arnold, but you know, I think in that realm, like before Arnold came on the scene, like another type of like B movie or something like that. So he did that, and but he was just so down to earth. And I know you're probably going to touch on this later, but so someone asked him about how he stays in shape for the role. You know, it's a physical role, you know, and he's not old, but you know, the years are starting to creep up on him. He's like in his 60s, and one thing that took away from that was he said when he goes to the gym, it's the mindset. He says, if you train like an old man, you're going to look like an old man. If you train like a young guy, you're going to look like a young guy. I remember sitting there with him, Elias, and like this, I was like, I should write this down. I mean, this is awesome. I mean, that was just awesome. And then, but overall, I mean, these cons have been, there's some times I have to pay lots of times. I do a con, and then like when I get back to, it's like you go back to reality. It's such a weird shift because you're sitting with Michael Myers, you're sitting with Juliette Lewis, you're sitting with the entire freaking cast of Cobra Kai and then the OG movie actors, and then you go back to work on Monday. And it's like such a high, it's hard to like get out of that.
Yeah, the come down is what they call it, right? The come down, the cooling off period. I can't imagine. I imagine sitting next to them probably gives you like an adrenaline rush, especially if it's, you know, someone not that you idolize per se, but you admire, you know. You mentioned I try not to fanboy out, but there was one I just told the guest. I said I'm fanboying right now, and that was Machete. That was Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo.
Yeah, I told him right when he sat down with me. I said, you know, everybody's looking at me on the stage, and I look at him, I grab my microphone, and I just tell him, I go, look, I'm going to be honest with you now, I'm fanboying out right now. And he starts laughing. And then I looked at the crowd, and I told the crowd, hey, don't tell the organizers of the event, because I'm not supposed to do this. You know, and then I look back at him, I go, I can't help it. So he's seeing me, like, kind of be like, oh my God, it's freaking you, man. It's Dusk Till Dawn, it's Predator, all that stuff. And the voice, he was a voice actor for King of the Hill. I think he played Enrique. And remember, he was a voice actor for Bane. And then he was in the Book of Boba Fett. So, I'm telling him, I was like, oh my God, you're in the Book of Boba Fett, and you were in Predator, and this and that. And then he kind of calms me down. He puts his hand on my hand, because I'm going to say, and he goes, it's okay. Let's just have some fun. And I'm just staring at my hand like, oh my God, he's touching me.
You're like, Machete touched me.
Yeah. That one I fanboyed out. The second one I should say maybe the one that I fanboyed out most was actually meeting Ralph Macchio and Rudy, help me out. What's the other guy's name? Is it William Zabka? Yeah, seeing those two guys, the original Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso. That one was weird because first of all, I grew up watching these guys, and then when they go and sit down, I wanted to sit with the OG cast. And they ended up taking the seats far at the end of the stage. And I'm sitting next to the younger generation. And next to me is Cholo Maridueña. So he's sitting right next to me. Blue Beetle. So we're all sitting there. And I ran out of, there's no more seats. It was like, I think, Rudy, did you go to that one? You went to that one, right?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. So Rudy got to witness what happened after that. So everybody gets introduced Sith. Right? And I'm still standing on the stage, and I look around and go, oh, there's nowhere for me to sit. So then Cholo looks at the crowd, looks at me, and he starts slapping his lap, and he tells everybody, you can just sit right here, sit on top of my lap. And I'm like, no, it's okay. I go, I'm a fan, but I ain't going to go that far, you know?
Yeah, I'm not that big of a fan.
Yeah. So eventually they just brought another chair. I think that's what they did, or they just squeezed in somehow, and then I sat down. And then kind of some other fun things, I never revealed before is seeing boy Ron Perlman taking a nap backstage, before he's all old. He took a nap right in front of everybody, snoring and everything. And then what was the other thing? During that panel with Ron Perlman, he was part of the oh my god,
Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy, thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm there talking with Jack and all the crew, they're all there with me, and then Ron Perlman sitting next to me. Well, as the host, I usually tend to do little giveaways at the end of the panel. It's from me to the fans for coming out. So I had it next to me, and it was like a Dragon Ball Z thing, right? And he picked it up, and during the whole the panel, he's just trying to impress me with his knowledge. He goes, "Hey, I know who that is." So he has his microphones down. He's like, "I know who that is." He picks it up. He goes, "That's Goku, right?" I go, "Yeah, it's Goku, Ron." Man, that is a good one. Didn't he fight this guy? And so, like, you see like a side conversation. Yeah, he's giving me the whole backstory. And while the freaking Sons of Anarchy panel was going on, and then I kind of snap back to it. We go back to the audience, and we just field those questions. And that was fun. Now, have I ran into some diva moments with actors? Sure.
Let's hear some.
There was one that shall be, but there was one that got a little diva and scolded a fan for being a fan and taking pictures during the panel. I'm not kidding. Stopped the panel with me, pointed the person out, and goes, "What are you doing?" And they said, "I'm taking pictures." And we all thought they were just playing around. And he's like, "No pictures, right?" Another fan does it, stops the panel. What did I just say a little while ago? Just going on and on and on. He even scolded the official Comic-Con videographer that's there to document everything and told him you have to cut it out.
That's corny as hell, bro.
Yeah, I mean, fans are there to see, you're there, to my knowledge, he's never been invited back. He was a handful.
Shit, I don't blame them, bro. I mean, the fans come out, they travel from all over, just to meet them. They pay a pretty penny for those panels.
Do they? Do they?
Shit,
but,
bro.
I mean, you got this other thing. One of the I guess coolest thing I've done, and it was not by design or anything. So they brought all the original hosts of Blue's Clues, right, from the very first iteration to the last one, right. It was a big deal. The panel was packed and everything, right? I do my thing, and then, it's time for fan questions. And one fan went up there in the microphone and says, "Hey, I don't know if you ever had this opportunity again before, but I got all three of the original hosts on stage. Apparently, I don't have kids, so I don't know if there was a particular Blues Clues song that was very popular with babies, and like they all sang it on every season, I guess." So they start singing it, right? So I'm on the couch and I kind of like scoot over, right? Okay, that's their thing. I'm going to let them sing their song. Well, the third host, so the most recent host, he grabs my arm, pulls me in. So there's a video somewhere of me singing a Blues Clues song with the original host online somewhere. I don't know the words, Sith, Rudy. I don't know the words. So on the microphone, you just hear me saying like, "It's a blue dog, he's happy." I don't know what to say.
He's hitting the last word of every line.
Yeah. So there's video out there somewhere. Some fan that went out there has it on video. You'll see the guy. They reach over and they go, "No, join us," and they think I know the lyrics. I don't know the lyrics.
It's all about faking it to you. It's all about faking it till you make it, brother.
Man, I was faking it. And I think one of the most badass things I did, and perhaps the first time that I actually got nervous, it was a combination of nerves and fanboyism, and that was when I hosted the Mandalorian panel. That one, I mean, you're talking about Carl Weathers. You're talking about the guy who plays the big jacked Mando with a big cannon for the gun, the one that was kind of a rival to Mando. I forget his name.
With the Gatling gun.
Yeah, him, and then the armorer. So we're all there, and then I remember meeting Carl Weathers. And remember, this is about a week before he passed away, and I have pictures of me with him doing selfies, so they're kind of treasured. So he's a big Lakers fan, huge Lakers fan. And I got him to say "Go Spurs, go" reluctantly. He hated it. He did not want to do it, but the fans were egging him on. And then he's like, "I guess." He went "Go Spurs, go," and he went all crazy. The thing about that one was we did something different. We did a little bit of Q and A, but all of us had agreed beforehand that we're gonna have a contest, and of course, leave it to Carl Weathers. He goes, "Why don't we have a push-up contest? Whoever can do the most push-ups in their cosplay thing." I forgot what it was, but I was just sitting there like, "Oh my god!" I got the Mando panel here. I had the voice actor of Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano one time. I was able to get the voice actors for Goku and Vegeta to do an impromptu skit of how and Goku would argue over the last Antonio breakfast taco, and they went back just on the spot. They just turned it on, and Goku obviously always hungry. He's trying to get it. Obviously, Vegeta's getting competitive. So in the back and forth, arguing over the last San Antonio breakfast taco, bickering. Vegeta stops it, and imagine these guys are like in their voice, so it's sound. I mean, it feels like I'm sitting next to Vegeta and Goku in real life, and the taco's gone, and then Vegeta realizes that Tien stole it. So, no, the Yamcha stole it. The Yamcha stole it during their bickering. Yes. So that was fun. I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, from stuff, what these cons have allowed me to experience, and it just fell on my lap. It really how it all started. It just fell on my lap. There's no secret. I think all of San Antonio knows that I'm a big nerd. I don't hide it. I'm very open about it, and I love it. So, for those that don't follow me on X, Monday through Friday, I start off the day with some sort of cool, nerdy video, whether it's, Anakin and Lord Maul fighting or whatever, or something like that, from Superman, whatever. If it's nerdy and it's cool and it's fun, then you go up there. So I was doing that for a long time, and then one con eventually just said, "Hey, wait a minute." He goes, "You're okay?" They were like, "You're okay just being a nerd like that, geeking out every day?" I went, "Yeah." They go, we got a part for you. And then that's how it all started. And I've been doing this since, oh my God, I was still in New York City at the time. I would fly from New York to San Antonio to host these things. I think I'm going to guess 6-7 years now. And then one thing led to another. Then another con reps were there. They're saying, "Hey, can you do ours?" Another one's there. "Hey, can you do ours?" And slowly, little by little, that's how I have. So I have 4 cons that I host throughout the year now. Now, there's some cons that are hard to get in, to be an MC. And I hear San Japan, I've tried with them, and it's like talking to a wall. They don't listen to me. They don't listen. I even went to their booth at San Japan, introduced myself, and I got a no. They're just like, "No, we're good."
Man, I would have whipped out your portfolio, your photo ops and whatnot.
Yeah,
this is what I do. How are you not going to have me on? This is what I do.
Yeah, that's what I do. And then they were like, "No." Now, there are some cons that I have declined because they're not for kids. There's a couple of those. There's some risque cons that are very underground. Let's just say people are 95% naked throughout the entire con.
I know a couple of Susios that are ready to host that. If you want to give them
I bet. Yeah, one's on. Hey, Sith, one's on right now. His name is Rudy Campos. He'll do that one.
That was back in the day, man.
Hey, Rudy, that's the rated R sports star down there. He ain't afraid of nothing, right, Rudy?
No, definitely not. Especially talking about stuff now. Man,
no, but
I'm gonna give you a quick thing on Jeff's announcing Sith. No, not a lot of people know this. I think the first con that Jeff was supposed to be doing in San Antonio, I literally got a phone call from Jeff saying, "I need your help. I may not make it to this con."
Oh, that's right.
So
I remember that. Yeah.
I need you to be on standby to host all these panels. Now, keep in mind, I know zero about a lot of the anime stuff coming out. So he's like, "I won't know till Friday or Thursday late."
Yeah. So the late last second, yeah.
I'm Monday morning, I get the call, and I'm that whole week, I am researching everything about the panels because I figured I'm probably gonna have to host these panels because you won't be able to make it in town in time. And I was shitting bricks, man, left and right. But
Man, I know that shit was keeping you up. The pressure was getting to you
God.
ready.
I mean, I was like, okay, I can handle it. But this leads to something that I wanted to ask Jeff, and you're gonna kind of like this. That was the first time Jeff ever met and talked to Johnny Youngbosch. Now, I bring him up because there's an evolution to Jeff and Johnny from button heads to buddies now. I want him to talk a little bit about that because it's crazy how it was, man. I remember Jeff telling me, like, Johnny was kind of rude and, just didn't really open up. So the next time I talked to him and Johnny was in town, it's like, hey, he's like friends of mine. Like, we're good buddies and stuff. But that was like the evolution of Johnny and Jeff right there.
Yeah, Johnny Young, one of the original Power Rangers, and it started off, one of my first times doing this. It's like kind of like he was kind of like with media a little bit, but not to that extent. But it was very light. Like he would kind of be like Pop to start, but then he'd be okay. Well, I'll answer the question, but I didn't know. I get that was just his humor. Whatever he is. But I took it like I'm talking about what it felt like. So I'm making this up. So I'll be like, up next we have Ranger, hey, that'd be so Johnny. The physicality of playing, a Ranger, ready for that. Tell us about that process. Yeah, you got no choice, right? And then he just get quiet. And I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna be one of those actors. So then another lap around, go back to him. Oh, Johnny, did you take it from the set? Do you still have the original helmet? Do you have tell you if I stole something? And then he'd just be quiet. And then then eventually afterwards though, he's an 80. He's like, oh buddy, he's like, hey, that was a good one, man. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? What's going on here? What are we doing? Then the next con just happened to be back to back. So on the same thing, but this time now he's being a little snarky, but now he's answering it, Yeah. So it was almost like trial by with him. Now I run into him at cons, and if he's not doing panels, it's like, hey man, what's going on? What's up? He goes, it's a shame I'm leaving tonight. Otherwise next time, let's have dinner. It's just weird, a very surreal, Eli. It's just surreal that you get to. I mean, this. A couple of weeks ago, I sat next to an Academy Award-winning actress, Mira Sorvino. Oh my God! Like, and then I'm like, it's you, it's Mimic. But now you kind of like I got a lot of those under my belt now, and I think the best is doesn't take a genius. They're just people. I hang out with them, I talk to them. Like Johnny is the best one. Johnny's just cool. Sees me, big old bro hug, everything. The Michael Myers with him on day 2 of the con, I think it was, or day 1, I'd say. Then I just see it, and then you don't see them, and they'll stop me. They'll be like, "Hey Jeff, what's up, man? What's up?" I'm like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" I gave like, okay, cool. So, but. They're fun, and I'm so glad I get to have that in my life. Wow, I'll absorb it as long as I can. But I have this thing. I was going through my cell phone the other day. I was like, oh my God, I got all these pictures from years and years in there. I want to print them out and like put them in a photo album or maybe like a big poster of it. So whenever I'm or about to cash my chips in, and people look back, hey, who is this? Well, look at this. Check this out. Look what he did.
Go ahead and flex on everyone. Yeah, bro. That's like a nerd's dream to be able to host a con of any sorts. And I mean any sorts on this end, even those adult ones you're speaking of. But
well, they don't have movie stars. They don't. It's just the very interesting cosplay contest they have a lot there.
Oh, okay. I'm reading. I'm picking up what you're putting down, brother. But you mentioned a couple.
Can you hear me?
I think you're
Yeah.
breaking up a bit, bro.
Rudy,
Yeah, you able to hear?
I think I lost him.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to write a note, like refresh on my end, because on my end, you guys are like seriously delayed.
Okay. Can you hear us now? We good?
Yeah, I'm gonna do.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Could always edit this, no, Rudy?
There's a first for everything. I've never had to edit anything, but I got a whole weekend to figure it out. So.
Hey, if not, fuck it, bro. This show is as raw as it gets. You know, they're gonna see us power through this stuff.
You're good. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's a little better.
Alrighty.
Yeah, it was getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Like, oh no, I don't think I can keep up now. All right,
No,
so I guess we'll pick it up at the Cochino Con.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get past the Cochino Con. So you just finish covering all your cons,
Okay,
right?
all right.
You listed a couple. Yeah, you listed a couple of your favorite guests, right? You mentioned Karate Kid. What I have a conspiracy theory for you. A movie conspiracy theory. What side are you on? Who was the actual villain in the Karate Kid? Was it Daniel LaRusso or was it Johnny Lawrence? I mean, let me get your take, and then we'll
the actual villain. I think, man, this one's tough. I can see both sides, and I get both sides. From the different perspectives. Johnny Lawrence. Yeah, it makes sense. Here's a guy that's coming to your town and already warming up your chick. I get that. Didn't LaRusso? Didn't he dump water on him in the bathroom? I think something like that.
Yeah, that was like halfway through the flick after like they had already called their piece or whatever. So he's still instigating like an asshole, bro. But
let me guess. Elias is gonna go with Daniel LaRusso, right?
Oh, for sure, bro. Let me tell you what. Like you said, you're not gonna show up to my hometown. You're not gonna get involved in mine and my girl's relationship problems. You know, he deliberately he hits Johnny in the face and expects not to get hit back, not knowing that Johnny Lawrence is a 3-time champ or whatever he was, All Valley champ at the time, bro. And then he's just instigating from the beginning of the film till the end. Like he's just a gnat. He's a bug, bro. But the true villain, in my opinion, would have to be LaRusso's mom. Because how are you gonna let your boy just hang out with a random maintenance dude and not check in on him? That was pretty weird.
I was gonna go with Kreese.
Oh, that guy's a fucking nutcase.
Yeah.
But I like.
But if I had to pick one, man, I think I lean towards LaRusso as not being the villain. Because I think this all could have been resolved with just a conversation. Like let's just say like you were a single Sith and you had a lady and like I didn't know, I'm the new guy and I just see a hot chick and I'm like, oh, okay, what's going on? You go, hey bro, I know you're new here, but that's my lady. Oh my bad. Sorry. I think they could have worked it out.
If I'm not mistaken, Johnny tried that, bro, and he kind of grabbed the radio and he just let go, and LaRusso fell over, and he took it as like the first hit and that's not what it is, bro. All Daniel had to do was get his ass up, say my bad, this isn't my battle, it is what it is. But he's just a cocky kid from Reseda, and he got his ass taken to him. And can we talk about the crane kick? How is that unblockable? All you had to do was take one fucking step to the left or to the right.
Yeah.
You could have just reached out, caught that foot. Happens all the time in UFC. Granted that it's a movie, but that shit's not.
Yeah. Hey, Rudy, how come Lawrence keeps on repeating over again it was an illegal move? He says that a couple of times throughout the series. Well, at least the recent series, the Netflix series, when he recounts. I don't see why it's illegal. I thought it was hey, it's karate, go for it.
But I don't know. I'm not a karate. I can barely kick past my knee. So, is it because it's a straight kick to the nose?
Well, I don't know, because they straight up cold cut each other in the face too. You
Yeah.
know.
Well,
I don't get why they never explain
why.
why. I would like the explanation of why Lawrence says it's an illegal move. I mean, right, he said that a few times. It was an illegal
Yeah,
move. It was an illegal move. Yeah.
throughout Cobra Kai, yeah, and Daniel just tells him to let it go multiple times.
So Daniel's a
But
cheater, basically.
he's the villain in the whole thing. I mean, Cobra Kai was a coming of age story for Johnny Lawrence. It was his redemption arc.
I mean,
Because
couldn't Ali be one of the villains or not?
Hey, I'm gonna say maybe Allie's a villain, man. She could have got the fire out quick.
She played both sides. I mean, while she was, seeing Daniel, she was probably still sleeping with Johnny. I mean, it's all her fault. We're gonna blame Ali.
Hey, that leads the question, Rudy. Like in that situation, if you know your girl is the one that's instigating it, do you kind of give a pass to the guy? He's a stranger. He's not like a bro. He's not a family member. He's not like a friend. Do you kind of say like, all right, no, I get it. A hot chick is coming on to you. Yeah, I would do it too. So we're good. And I'm going to take care of business with my lady first. Let's talk this out. Isn't that kind of situation? Like if you don't know the guy, you have no connection to him. He's just a random guy. Can you be like, yeah, maybe the real villain is my girl?
I mean, I would say so, possibly. I mean, for all we know, Daniel and Johnny are fighting, and I don't know, Dutch or Bobby are tapping Ali on the side. I mean, that's how we don't know what's going on, man.
Bro, women in the 80s and 70s ruined everything, bro. And that's not even my generation. You know who's another one who caused so much fucking problems? Padme from Star Wars. Jeff, do you agree or disagree? She groomed a kid who grew up not knowing how to love correctly because all he knew was one person. And she groomed him from the age of 12, and look what he did. He destroyed galaxies, murdered a whole race.
The power of the dark side.
Or don't know the power of you know what, so
you don't know the power of Padme. We'll just keep it at that.
Yeah.
But Jeff, if you were in the Star Wars universe, would you be a Sith or would you be a Jedi? And why?
That's a good question. That's a good question because I do think there's some certain things that are wrong with the Jedi. They're too, at least, well, how about this? In the Yoda era, when he was in charge, I think he just went too by the book. Too by the book. No relationships. You can't love. What was it? Material things or nothing.
No material things.
Yeah.
No fear. No
fear. Nothing. Just kind of like numb. I guess numb to everything. Imagine having an instructor tell you, "Hey, yeah, sorry, your mom's gonna die, but you gotta let it go."
Yeah, but don't react to it. That's what I tell everyone.
But don't react to it.
Anakin had every right to crash out, bro. He saw his mom die in front of him. He just wanted to prevent his girl from doing the same. And here we are. Here's everyone telling him that, let it go. People are meant to die. And if I'm not mistaken, Yoda tells him, you need to learn to let it go.
Yeah,
If that person dies, it dies. Man, if there's a way to save someone, then by all means, figure it the fuck out if they mean a lot to you.
Because I was asked this question like years ago. They said, okay, what if you're Luke and you get the vision of all your boys and your sister, and your crew is about to get smoked, Yeah, he probably would do the same thing. Like, yeah, I got to cut this training session short. I got to go help him. My sister's in trouble. My boy's in trouble. Chewie's in trouble. I got to go. So I get it, But then I look at the Sith and I'm like, all right, just calm it down a bit, guys. Just chill, just relax here, Like, you don't have to wild out so quickly. You don't have to, I guess go back to strike first, strike hard. You just chill. If I would pick the Old Republic Jedi's. I would be one of those because if you go back, they're still. I mean, really, I think they're still body armored and they're ready. They're ready to rock. If needed. Yeah, they're ready to rock.
They were more of a military men back then.
Yeah.
Opposed to these whack ass
philosophers and
teachers and whatnot. The Old Republic, they were just kind of, you want to play a game, fuck around, find out. I'm gonna whip out this lightsaber and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, they knew how to, and I think I would lean towards the Old Republic. There, one day we're gonna get a Knights of the Old Republic movie. One day. We got close though with Acolyte. We got what did we see? We saw like the tail.
We got one good episode, yeah.
About the tail end of their reign, right? That's where we're catching it, like right at the end of their reign.
Yeah. So end of their reign.
Rudy,
you were just asking, why were the Jedi Acolyte, like their sabers were like all fat? Did you notice that? They're like PVC pipes, just huge. They weren't like sleek down and everything. They were just very basic looking. It was just like a tube, and that was it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess like during the Acolyte, like I said, it was more military based, so they were more in uniform. If you saw even their outfits, their Jedi robes and all that were all similar, opposed to nowadays you had Obi-Wan Kenobi and rocking the opposite of whatever, Kit Fisto. I was gonna say Samuel L. Jackson, Mace Windu. I'm calling him by his actual name.
Imagine Mace in the Old Republic Jedi crew. Man,
Mace in the Old Republic crew. We'd probably get a little Samuel L. Jackson action there. He's like, bow down to the Jedi, motherfucker.
Well, I love it. If you go back and watch Revenge of the Sith, he tells Anakin flat out, I think so. Basically, I don't trust you. Like this. Yeah. He told him flat out, I don't trust you.
He's like, make me trust you.
Make me trust you. Told him to his face, yeah, you're good, but you're not gonna be part of the crew. And I was like, dang, yeah, he wasn't playing, man. And they just didn't listen, did they, Rudy? They just didn't listen.
No, they never did. They never do listen, man. That's the problem.
So Rudy, Jeff has gotten on my case a couple of times because I told him I haven't seen that Transformers movie from when is it from, Jeff? The animated one.
86?
86, yeah.
Oh my God.
He tried talking to me about it one time. I was like, bro, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but go ahead and cook, Jeff, because that's all you. I bring it up because I have a question from our boy Mike Baez. Bear. Jeff, he asked if you could voice any Transformer, Autobot or Decepticon, which vehicle or alien would you choose to voice?
If I could do Decepticons first, in cartoon voice, not movie voice, but the cartoon voice of the Galvatron voice, I felt it was off. It felt high pitchy and whiny. What Leonard Nimoy did in the movie was pretty good, but when they transitioned his character to the cartoon series, it was very just whiny, and I never liked the voice actor or the voice direction they went with Galvatron. So I would try to redo Galvatron, but make it similar to what Leonard Nimoy did. I get what they were trying to do because, and Rudy, I think you know this. OG Megatron, that boy was more of a general. He was more of a military guy. Yeah, Galvatron was more of a king and a royalty, And look at his helmet. It was basically a crown. Megatron had a military helmet on. So I kind of would have loved to blend the two right there. But if I could go back and fix it, I think I'd fix the Galvatron voice. Just never in the cartoon. It just never really hit me. Now, for an Autobot, let's see. I'm going to mess with Prime because that voice is iconic. You don't mess with
it. It's iconic. It's like wanting to change Vader's voice, bro. You don't do that.
You don't. You don't change Starscream's voice. You don't change Soundwave's voice. Are you okay with Shockwave, Rudy? I mean, is that still iconic? Is Shockwave's voice is iconic?
So there's a few I was thinking about. Shockwave's one of them. I'm going to throw Ultra Magnus in there with Robert Stack in the movie. Yeah. And then as great of a person as Judd Nelson is, I think Rodimus, Ultra Magnus, and then Shockwave, they all sound off, but they all sound very unintimidating. So if I had to pick characters, I would have probably redone all three of those. But yeah, Shockwave, who's supposed to be one of the most, iconic and, big bad Decepticon, he had a voice like a librarian. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? I mean,
oh wait, I got it. I think if I can do it now, I appreciate what they wanted to do. I could redo it though. I would revoice Computron's voice because he was very like always in a fight. He would just think everything out. You know, he'd be like, "Oh, I'm fighting Sith Elias, okay, and before I throw my first punches, the air is going to the wrong direction. If I apply this forward, he's getting his butt kicked the whole time." He goes, "Okay, if I use this amount of torque in my hand, you know, during a fight, and then I put it here, you know, then he's getting cooked." I think I would change that one up a little bit more. I think I would have gone opposite, you know, because the Technobots, they were very, like, when they were individual, they were kind of like just a crew, just a bunch of boys. Yeah. But when they came together, they became like stiff robot, like the traditional, like, I am going to overthink everything. So I would love to have kept that vibe with Computron, just because Computron, smart, just to get it, and I think that would have been good. By the way, Rudy, did you know this? Judd Nelson replayed the voice of Hot Rod in the cartoon series.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Well, not like years after Generation 1 was over, when they kind of did revivals. Judd Nelson came back for Hot Rod, I think. Yeah. I don't know about Rodimus, but he did come back for Hot Rod. But, and then again, you look back at you look at Transformers 1, and I get this questions a lot, like, "Oh, you think Transformer 1 is good?" I think it's great. It's real good, but it's just 86. There was something special about 86. 86, you know, we were taught death. We were taught war. We were taught, cartoons don't end with everybody happy at the, you know, every episode. Yeah. You know, this was more like, hey,
welcome to the real world type shit. Yeah. That
just really woke us up as kids. Like, man, did we just see Ratchet die? Did we just see?
Spoiler! I haven't seen it yet, Jeff. Come on, bro. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Cook.
X, Y, and Z character getting smoked that you grew up with, and you're like, what the? And there was a big one, you know, and then. And by the way, Rudy, I think you agree. You know, Megatron won the fight, right? Won the fight.
Oh, I heard Optimus Prime takes the L, right?
Yeah, but people still today think that he did not take the L because he got that hit in. No. I think Megatron overall won the fight.
Yeah, I mean the Autobots basically pulled a Tom Brady and cheated a little bit there. So, I mean,
well, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Since you like MMA, and I think you're a fan of MMA too. Somewhat. If you watch the fight, who lands the most significant strikes, Rudy?
That'd be Megatron.
He landed the most significant strikes. Not to say that Prime didn't get his smokes in, but the deader blows, the bigger hits, Megatron delivered, and Megatron didn't hold back. Prime is like, okay, I'm gonna give you a chance. No, Megatron just win and just take care of business. But man, again, I can't wait till you see the fight. You can make a decision. Who won? Who really won?
I'll be hitting you up with my opinion, though. I'll check out the fight itself.
You can just go on YouTube. You just watch
I was gonna say,
just watch the fight and you're good, and then you'll be able to figure it out from there.
Yeah. So Jeff, let's hit a speed run, bro. I have a couple of nerd.
Okay.
This or that, similar to your new segment on
buy
Lowe's.
Or sell. Yeah,
similar to buy or sell. All right. So we're gonna give you two options, and that's it. Just gonna give us a quick explanation on why. All right. So, Back to the Future or The Karate Kid? What's the better trilogy? What's the better trilogy?
Man, I'm gonna go Karate Kid. And
Karate
why?
Kid? Why?
Yeah, Karate, and why? Because it seems it lasted longer. The longevity of it lasted than.
All right, Rocky 3 or Rocky 4? Clubber Lang or Drago?
Rocky 3, go back and watch that. That's a lot of heavy stuff. You got the death of your mentor. You got him falling.
You got Mr. T.
You got Mr. Yeah, you got Mr. T. I mean, enough said. But Rudy, if I remember correctly, with 3 with Clubber, that was they're trying to make Rocky more like he's full of himself. Was that what it was, or he got soft?
No, he was fooling him. He got too comfortable.
Way too comfortable.
They were cherry picking his fights after the Apollo. Once he got the title, they were just trying to keep his belt on him, basically. Which to me, it's more realistic than a fucking Soviet creating a superhuman coming and killing Apollo. You know.
Yeah.
I don't think Apollo should have saved.
By the way, did you know that in all boxing movies, the Drago Rocky fight is considered the best boxing movie ever made?
Really?
At least by fan votes.
Wow.
And to me, I think it's the most overhyped movie in the whole franchise. Rocky 3 is always going to be it for me.
Yeah, I'm going with Clubber. Rocky 3. Just it had more emotional to it, and I don't think my regret is I think the fight should have lasted a little longer. Hey, here's one for you. Here's one for you. Just I know you got to go back to your list here, but I got one for you. Just go around the rock here. Prime Clubber versus Adonis Creed. Who wins?
Is Adonis in his prime? You got to break it down to me. Which Adonis are we getting? Are we getting Adonis from Creed 2 or 3 or
3? We're getting 3. That's the most recent. And you got Clubber in his prime.
Shit, that's a hard one, bro.
That's a tough one, right? Yeah. Do you think Adonis could you think Adonis could survive a haymaker from Clubber?
No.
That's the thing. I don't think he can.
No, but his cardio work in part 3 was just out of this world. Adonis's, I mean.
Yeah, but if Lang drops 1, that might be lights out. Or he did a couple, and then I don't know if Adonis can recover. I mean, wasn't his ribs like all glass pretty much? I mean, because I forgot who hit him with the rib shot.
Baby Drago went ahead and took him out, busted his kidneys up and whatnot. And he had the nerve to blame Rocky, like Rocky was the one in there not playing defense. Right? That's what we hear a lot of nowadays. Coaches being blamed for the shit that their players or boxers don't do. You know?
Yeah, I'm going with the cardio factor. That's what I was going to say. Give him a slight edge.
Because that's the only reason. That's the only reason why Clubber lost, bro. He doesn't have that cardio.
I'll say this. I was always a big Clubber Lang fan, so I would probably stick with Clubber because that one hit. But gotta ask
this thing, man. One hit.
Well, when Clubber fought Rocky, was that really Clubber's prime? I mean,
when he was
we don't know what his
right?
prime was.
Wasn't that when he was peaking?
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I mean, Clubber is a different type of boxer. I mean, he's
a street dude, bro. That's just pure strength. Kind of what.
But that's the thing too. Do you think Adonis could handle a street fighter?
I don't think so. He's too soft. He was too sheltered. I mean, a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, well, he was raised at a detention home and all this stuff." Man, he still comes from the Creed family. He still had those checks in his back pocket. Yeah. He was still sheltered, bro. I don't want to hear anything because even between him and Jonathan Major's character, he wasn't even the better fighter between them two. But no, Clubber Lang, he gets the win. And at that, if he catches him early, he gets the win the same time he got it over Rocky. Round 3, KO.
I think if Clubber were to land one on Adonis goes back to the court. Like, oh my god, like I don't know, like I think the doubt will settle in on him.
He's gonna send his ass with his daddy.
I know. By the way, I do give was that Michael B. Jordan kudos, and you probably know this. He choreographed a lot of the fights based off Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Bro. Yeah. He's a big anime fan. He even his Killmonger attire was a reference to Vegeta, the Saiyan battle armor.
Man, why can't we get that in a movie? Say we get DB Evolution, but why can't we get that kind of look. I mean, I was like almost spot on battle armor saying though. I mean, it was really, really good. Just needed
If I'm not mistaken, they got the Cat in the Hat treatment, Jeff. The live action film was so ass that Toriyama says, "Nah, well, we're not going to be doing that at least for the foreseeable future," because what's her name, Mrs. Seuss put the kibosh on any more live action flicks because Cat in the Hat was that horrible.
I remember going to the movies when Evolution came out, hyped, and I remember walking out like, what just happened?
Oh, I didn't stay for the whole thing. They got like 20 minutes out of me, and I was like, you know what, this shit's corny. I'm out.
Ah, my God!
But sometimes corniness is good. Like my wife and I we just watched Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe like 4 days ago, and I told my wife, "You actually find this shit funny?" She's like, "Well, yeah, it's so bad, it's good." And I was like, "All right." And she was naming she's like, "We should watch Napoleon Dynamite next. See what you think about it." I've never watched it, but I don't know, bro.
Speaking of Jonathan Majors, what was the name of the character in the Creed movie? I forgot the name of it. His name, but anyway, my point is, highly recommend this movie. Highly recommend one of his movies recently, Magazine Dreams. You gotta see that movie. You have to see that movie. That first of all, it is intense, and his acting is off the charts as that character. Magazine Dreams. I highly recommend everybody watching this fine show right now. Watch it. You're gonna be in the edge of your seat. You're gonna feel like afterwards. You're gonna be like, "What just happened?" Like it's like the director just doesn't let you breathe. It's like one thing after another, after another, after another, and then it just majors, man. The way he portrays and plays that role, the main character. Oh my God, it's like chef's kiss, man. It's a great movie. It's a shame it's not gonna get attention because of what he did. But if he didn't do what he did, I think he probably would have swept up a bunch of awards for his portrayal of the main character. It's a phenomenal movie.
No, I believe you. He's a great actor, and it's a shame of what happened or what he was framed for.
Yeah.
I'm not siding either or. Though I don't want the show to get canceled. But what happened really shook up the whole MCU universe as well. We would have had Kang Dynasty. It was supposed to come out, if I'm not mistaken, May 4th, May 5th of this year. Now we have to wait on this Infinity Saga or whatever the hell it is bullshit.
Yeah.
The Doctor Doom stuff, bro, with Robert Downey Jr. getting chosen when there was the likes of Cillian Murphy available to play. I hope they I don't know. I hope they're playing a trick on us, and it's not actually Robert Downey Jr. playing him because he had the perfect send off with Iron Man.
It just feels like a cheap way out.
Yeah, it's a money grab too, Jeff.
Like, why are you gonna recycle that? And then Chris Evans is gonna come back, and Robert Downey's coming back, and you don't have to. We can survive without him.
They didn't learn from the Star Wars sequels, bro, which you refuse to watch.
Hey, but real quick before we get to that though, Rudy though, why would they bring back Robert Downey? It doesn't. It's like it feels like a cop out.
Well, they've lost so much money lately that they figured they've got to bring these guys back somehow. The big office draws when it's all said and done. I mean. Everything good with the Avengers was good in the beginning. I just don't think the transition that they had between directors and actors and what really killed MCU, I'm just gonna pretty much say it's all those TV series on Disney. I think that killed the
corny shit, bro. Corny shit.
A lot of it was just it's basically I was just reading a comic book and just that story arc in a comic book. And you could have done without it. I mean, if you want to run, I love the Moon Knight series. I mean, for them just to say, "Well, we're done with it," I'm like, "Come on, man!" I mean, that was a good series. I would rather have that. The What If series was cool, but it's just
season 1 was okay. Season 2 sucked.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They're trying to put so much out of it and put so much into everybody's mind that it's like you're watering down everything that you're planning to do. But the Robert Downey Jr. thing, I don't know. I personally think they should have never canceled the Kang Dynasty. They could have just gone a different way and
Just recast it.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it happens all the time. I mean, you know, and that's why I'm like, why did you get away from that? Kang would have been the perfect transition into Doctor Doom, the absolute perfect transition. Now you're having to come up with, well, Robert Downey Jr. is going to play Doom. Well, how the hell is that going to happen? You know what? I don't even think they know yet, for being honest.
Yeah, there are a lot more misses as far as the TV side of things. Like I never saw. What was that? I never saw it. Never saw that. Harkness, that series.
Yeah.
Never even seen a single second of that series. Echo was I guess, you know. I thought Show was just too corny. And like it just felt like it just didn't feel like it's like a comedy show, you know. But there's hits, you know, like Daredevil Reborn. That's phenomenal. I thought The Punisher, at least season 1, was great. What else? So then there's those ones that don't get attention that I think need more attention, and Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Now it's geared towards kids. It's geared towards a little. If you watch those, and I've seen every single episode, it's actually pretty good. It kind of keeps with the MCU vibe going, and they have a major villain in that one. Rudy, help me out here. What's the one that controls the cops? Hang on, I'm looking up real fast. And they gave that series a major villain. Hang on, let me figure. Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur. I'll get it for you.
Yeah, I can't remember offhand who it was.
God, he's the one. Hang on, I get it here. Beyonder, that's it.
Oh, the Beyonder, yeah.
Yeah, they gave that series the Beyonder, and it's voiced by. Oh my God, I can't remember the voice now. Good Lord, getting old already. But good music. It really captures the MCU. It's really good. But again, it's like you look at it and it's like, oh, it's like it is geared towards the little kids, but the show itself is pretty good. But,
I'll probably give it a watch with my kid then. I mean, even not like she pays much attention to stuff other than Bluey, right? But it's worth a try.
Lawrence Fishburne voices the Beyonder.
Lawrence Fishburne, Morpheus, right?
Yeah. But I hope it gets back on track because I miss the hype. We remember how we'd all be hyped up, you know, when the trailer came out, and you know, you get your tickets, and you know, this showing is so.
I'd even go as far as to like log off social media just for that week, the week of the premiere. I'm like, y'all can't ruin this for me. Now it's kind of like you know, they give away the big plot point or whatever in the movie. I'm kind of like, you know, I probably wasn't going to see this shit anyway.
You know, another Marvel movie I haven't seen, Captain America with the Red Hulk one. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, I heard it was a corn fest, bro. I saw the Red Hulk and Falcon fight, and they said it wasn't worth it. You get maybe a 4 or 5 minute bout, and that's pretty much it. The climax was pretty.
You're fighting the Red Hulk, and you get buried in him.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. They didn't capture what the Red Hulk really was supposed to be. The character itself is way more iconic than whatever the hell they try to do with Harrison Ford. And let's not talk about the setback in the CGI. Man, I feel like
I haven't seen it.
Bro, it's just as bad as the Flash. You know what I'm talking about? That Nick Cage cameo.
Horrible. Flash was horrible CGI. I mean, just terrible. And Rudy, they went ahead and wrecked Flashpoint movie, comic book. They just messed it up. It was basically the Flashpoint series.
Yeah.
And they just destroyed it. And the Flashpoint, I know what? Watch the cartoon movie. That is just incredible. Yeah. Incredible. That's the way it should have been. Not what we got.
It's the same thing that they did with the Joker, Jeff. We were supposed to get the Killing Joke, the actual backstory
Yeah.
to, but we got Arthur Fleck and whatever the hell they tried doing in part 2, bro.
I remember.
I think DC is worse off than the MCS, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I remember. I got
Possible.
tickets to the
MCS.
San Antonio. I got tickets to the San Antonio premiere of the Joker Part 2. And I'm real excited. We're all going. We're going to go. You know, yay, we're going to have fun. And I remember just afterwards, everybody was quiet. Like, and they had, they had people like from the studio outside of the theater after it was over, polling people. What do you think? And I just remember hearing people like, yeah, it was not what we expected. They could have gone this way. They had a little tablet, and you would like do like a 1 through 5 ranking. I remember
Kind of like a survey.
Yeah,
a quick
I put
survey.
A 1. I did 1. I said it was horrible. It was horrible.
Man, Tim Dillon, who was in that flick playing a security guard, said this is the worst fucking movie I've ever acted in. And I've only been in 3 flicks, so that's telling you a lot, bro.
That's rowdy.
Well, you know, we don't want to keep it too long, Jeff. So let's just finish this list real quick.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
Since we're on that boat, what do you prefer, Marvel or DC?
Ooh,
When it comes
Marvel.
to characters, when it comes to
Marvel.
what?
Marvel.
Why?
I think they're a little bit more complex.
A little bit more complex.
A little bit more complex. DC, although now they're trending towards a little bit more complexity as well. But initially, if you go back to the OG run, and you had Iron Man dealing with alcoholism, and you had other characters going through it. I mean, who was the other one? It was Peter Parker, and then his teenage years growing up, getting rejected by women.
The deaths in the family and whatnot.
Death
Yeah,
in the family, everything. Now, not to say that DC has good characters. Of course, they got a couple of the great ones. They got the trilogy: Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. Yeah, growing up, you read the comics, you're like, man, they felt like you're more real life in the MCU than you were in DC. And in DC, you were dealing with Superman versus an interdimensional creature named Mitzelplex. And in Marvel, you had
the relatability just wasn't there.
Wasn't there, but they're still good. But I'm probably going to be like that meme where that character has his arm like this right now, and all the swords are pointing at him because they have a hot take and nobody agrees them. But I think Zack Snyder gets the raw end of the deal. He's put together some pretty good DC movies.
Man, that Snyder cut
to this day, I don't get why people bash Man of Steel. I don't get it. It's a great Superman movie. It's phenomenal.
You know how it is, Jeff. Everything gets judged just because it's cool, bro. You know, a lot of people probably have it recorded in their DVR or in their DVD case
I've told Rudy this. That has the best ending of any Superman movie. Yes, even above Christopher Reeve looking at the camera as he flies away. That has the perfect ending to a Superman movie. Go rewatch just that last few minutes where he's on the bike going to work and how it ends. That's perfection the way it ended.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna need to do a rewatch, bro. I'm trying to. Rudy too. Rudy's with me. He's like, shit. I don't remember what happens.
Go back and watch how it ends. And just the dialogue, what they say. It feels like you're gonna be like, oh, I can't wait till next week where I pick up my comic book. That's what it makes you feel like. I think is the perfect ending to a Superman movie. You cannot get better than that. And everything that dialogue implies, and it implies a lot what's about to happen to his life.
So I have one last question to ask you, and you know my take on this. If Heath Ledger hadn't passed,
I know this.
Would his Joker be as iconic as people make it out to seem? Because honestly, I think it could be better. I think it's overhyped.
Rudy, you got like a boo button on there or something?
I've got a lot. I've got the.
No, I can disagree with you 100%. I think Ledger, what he did with the Joker was just like eye-opening. Just eye-opening. He had Jack Nicholson, who who, yes, stayed to the jokey side of it, but he was more. Would you say like a mob boss? Is that what I got from it?
So Jack Nicholson was early early comic book accurate Joker, like what we would get from Cesar Romero back in the Adam West days. But what Heath Ledger did to the Joker was he brought out what everybody wanted to see, like how the Joker was portrayed in everybody's mind. Don't care, anarchy, still with the joke here and there by the pencil trick and all this other stuff. But what Heath Ledger did was say, okay, I'm gonna make the Joker what everybody else expects him to be, and I'm gonna be real. I don't know if you'll ever get a perfect Joker more than Heath Ledger's. I
had high hopes for Joaquin Phoenix, and obviously that got close, but it didn't pan out. But as far as Ledger is concerned, for me it's him. It's Mark Hamill. I think those are the two that are top of the list, and and Mark Hamill too. I mean, if you watch interviews about him and what he wanted to do with Joker, he wanted to bring out that demonic side, that gritty evil side, as much as he can push it for a kids cartoon, even though it wasn't. Go back and watch the Batman '90s run. I don't think there was some kids theme in those. So him and Hamill, man, they're just iconic. I mean, go look at Hamill's portrayal of the Joker in
the Batman Beyond
Mask
movie.
Of the Phantasm.
Oh, the Mask of the Phantasm.
That one too, but Mask of the Phantasm, he did a damn good job. And the way his last scenes with so and so, I'm gonna give it away. I mean, people should know already what happens, right, Rudy?
Yeah,
you should know by now what happens in Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah.
Jeff, the chills I got, bro, when they have the picture of Jack and he gets the crayon and draws a smile and you hear that iconic laugh. Bro, probably one of the best scenes of all time in any comic movie, bro.
Yeah. And I think really help me out here. Didn't Mark Hamill say he's done with Joker because the other guy, voice actor, passed away?
Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
Conroy passed,
did he say that?
I believe he's done with it. He's not going to do any more Joker.
Hey, by the way, just we're talking about Mark Hamill. So, and real quick, he voiced the Chucky doll in the most recent Revival movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the good guy doll.
Thank you. So when I did a Child's Play panel recently at the HorrorCon, and I brought up about Mark Hamill doing the voice and doing the revival to the original actors of Andy and Kyle. So Andy, obviously, throughout the entire series, and Kyle was the babysitter in Child's Play 2.
Yeah.
And they didn't ask. They just looked at me like, "How dare you ask that?" And I just remember like, okay, moving on. Saying that they looked like they were pissed off that, not at me, just more like a revival was made and that a different voice actor took over. And I think at the time the original voice actor was still around, so I think he died. So
Brad Dourif is still alive and kicking.
He's still alive and kicking. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
he voiced Chucky in the
TV series,
in the TV series as well. Him and his daughter, who she got that laugh down to a T, bro.
So if you're running to the original movie cast of Child's Play, don't bring up anything about the revival.
Don't bring up Mark Hamill, please.
Don't bring up Mark Hamill. Don't bring up what the reboot. Nothing. They're not too happy with it. But
for some reason, don't even mention Luke Skywalker. They're gonna come for your ass.
Yeah. No, and I did. I mentioned Mark Hamill, and I just remember sitting in the chair with them. They're looking at me like this fury just in their eye. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna mention it anymore. I thought it was a fair question. Child's Play. It's part of the franchise.
Yeah, I mean, still the same character, but all right.
Still, yeah. But as far as Joker is concerned, no, I totally disagree with you. Ledger, what he did was just phenomenal. You can watch that whole movie and still be, just left with your mouth open after his performance. I mean, from him barging into the party to the interrogation scene to always thinking 5-10 steps ahead. From what did he do, Rudy? Did he put ropes in the skyscrapers to stop the helicopters? I mean, little things like that.
Yeah.
Just so awesome. And then, like, again, his final line. What was his final line? He goes, he tells Batman, "I think we're meant to do this for like years." And
Forever.
Yeah.
and he goes off and he just
Basically
dangles him.
tells them without you, there's no me, or without me,
Yeah.
there's no you either. Iconic. Just as iconic as having the great Jeff Garcia here on Plead the Sith. Bro, I loved having you on here. Glad we were able to move on from the Spurs stuff and just
Yeah, thank you for that. I
nerd out.
appreciate that. Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air to be able to nerd out. Because usually, hey, can you come in and talk about the draft or Popovich retiring? And,
No, I told Rudy, let's leave the controversy and the Spurs talk to the side. Let's let Jeff nerd out for once. I know.
Hey, you want to hear some controversy, Rudy?
Oh God, what is it?
Sith didn't believe that I worked out.
Oh golly, dude.
No, I didn't believe he was as big as he is. I was like, oh, okay, he probably works out like the rest of us. But we saw him at HorrorCon, and it was like Bane sitting next to Michael Myers. So I was like, all right, I see you, bro.
Yeah.
I see you.
Yeah,
But,
Jeff's
Rudy-
definitely working out left and right.
Yeah, Rudy's the only person in San Antonio, at least among friends, to see me during a workout. Nobody else has ever seen it. Yeah. Yeah, cause I had a couple of passes for Rudy for a con, and he had to pick them up, and I said, "Well, I'm going to the gym. That's where you're gonna get them." And then he drove up, and I came out, and I was like, "Damn it!" And I remember going back inside the gym, being like, "Shit, I don't like that other people see when I'm at work, but Rudy got to see."
Yeah, it's like imagine Jeff. It's like the little thin waist, and the muscles are like out to here, like massive U.S.
He's built like 2000s Triple H, Rudy. You know the reference.
Yeah.
You know what physique I always admired in WWE, and it's a tie, but I'm trying to lean towards Batista, like peak Batista.
Man,
like,
he was a tank.
Yeah, that is something I owe. And then the close second, well, maybe it's like 1B is the Ultimate Warrior. Is better than peak Batista? Like, who was more in shape? Do you think Ultimate Warrior?
It had to be
peak?
Ultimate Warrior, but it was more because of their height. I would say.
Yeah.
His muscles just suited his body more than what Batista did. Batista looked like he was.
I don't understand. What do you mean by because of the height? Like, I don't get that.
Well, his muscles, I guess they just fit his body better. I don't know how to explain it really. Batista looked kind of. How could you say it, Rudy? He didn't look.
No, Batista was jacked. He was jacked.
Yeah, but
what?
But you could tell he was
more like chiseled. Like
he was more chiseled.
Just muscle, like pound for pound muscle. He had the guns. He had everything. Batista had that chiseled look, like it was just muscle on muscle, but never that swole look is what I remember Batista in his prime. He wasn't like super swole like the Warrior was. The Warrior was, pure muscle and pure steroid. That was the
that's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was.
Pure steroids, pure test, pure cocaine, all the above, bro.
Yeah.
But there's no doubting that the Ultimate Warrior was indeed an icon, bro.
Was Warrior was shorter than Batista?
I want to say he was, because Batista's pushing about 6'3", 6'4". Warrior's about a good 6 foot, 6'1".
Okay.
So his body just his height made up for it. It helped. He was stumpy. I guess is what we're getting.
Really? I don't remember Warrior being stumpy. I remember him being tall. I don't know.
No, so look, Jeff, I'm gonna blow your mind. How tall do you think Rhea Ripley is?
I'm gonna guess like 5'10".
How about you, Rudy?
Rhea Ripley, I've always thought she's probably the same 5'10", maybe pushing 6 foot, like right at 6.
Oh, she's barely hitting 5'7".
No, she's not. Stop.
She's 5'7". Look it up. Everyone else in the ring with her is pushing about 5. They're about 5 feet, between 5 and 5'5". Especially Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan's only 5'1". Jordan Grace, the new muscle mommy.
Yeah.
She's ripped to the gills. I believe she's 4'11". Bro, I'm telling you, they.
What? No
I thought
way.
Rhea Ripley was over 6 feet. Did you?
Yeah, so did I.
Did you fact check it?
No,
I need one of y'all to fact check it.
I believe you. You're. I mean, I appreciate WWE wrestling, but you're the expert in that area. So,
yeah, bro.
Damn, she's only what? Did you say 5'6", 5'7"?
5'7", Rhea Ripley.
5'7".
They make her look like a beast in the ring. Then.
Yeah, I thought she was at least 6 feet. I thought maybe she'd top off at about 6'1",
That's
6'1"
what
and a
I
half.
thought.
Dang,
But
and she's pretty shred too.
I always tried to work out, but I couldn't get past Dusty Rhodes' physique, so I just kind of quit.
Dusty
man,
Rhodes.
I'm built
No.
I'm built like Yokozuna.
Oh, jeez.
I would say, Rudy. I thought you were gonna say you were built like Tugboat.
Oh God!
Oh.
Back in the day, yeah. Back in the day, I could have easily joined the natural disasters back in the day, but after losing some weight, I tried to get to. My wife's a big Randy Orton fan, so I tried to get to his physique.
Yeah.
And no, I kind of got to Cowboy Bob Orton, and that's about as
Close
best
enough.
as
Close
I
enough.
That's not
You're
bad.
still,
That's not
you're still hitting
horrible.
Orton.
Yeah, you're still in the Orton realm. That's
Yeah,
cool.
Wrong Orton.
So with that being said, that's my co-host Rudy Campos Orton, and thanks for joining us here today, Jeff. Much love, bro. Anything you want to plug before we sign off?
Yeah. I don't know when this is coming out, but the NBA draft coming up, so keep it on. If you're watching on X, or follow me on X. If you're not, Jeff G, Spurs Zone. Follow there. I'll be at the draft. Well, remember at the Spurs meeting of the draft. There we go, at the Victory Performance Center. So we'll get to hear what Brian Wright has to say about picks. We'll see what they keep them, and we know we're going to keep them at least. So we'll see what happens then, and then get ready for Summer League. Maybe I'll fit in a little vacation between now and then, but we'll see. Yeah, just also go to Locked On Spurs. This past week or whenever this comes out. Elias was on representing the fan base. He had hot takes. He's getting cooked in the comments. Go read what they're saying to him. Rudy comes off on Spurs at least once or twice. You'll probably catch him soon. So subscribe to Locked On Spurs.
Alrighty, well, this is it, y'all. This is episode 3 of Plead the Sith. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next time.